and President of the Walt Disney Asia Pacific and Chairman of Star India and the Walt Disney Company India to deliver his welcome address. Mr. Uday Shankar.
Thank you very much, Dilip. Namaskar, Nitinji. Honorable Minister for Micro and Small and Medium Enterprises and Road Transport and Highways. Sri Jagdish Shettarji, Honorable Minister for Large and Medium Industry, Government of Karnataka. It gives me great pleasure to welcome both of you, sir. Sir, we are indeed privileged to have you with us, and I must take this opportunity to compliment you and the Government of India for bringing several support measures in the MSME in these critical sectors. Before I go forward, I would also like to welcome our partner, State Bank of India and its chairman, Rajneesh Kumarji, for partnering with FICCI on this important subject, Ms. Uma Reddy, Mr. Gaurav Gupta, and Mr. Ulas Kamath for making sure that this happens. And this virtual session is happening. Captains of the industry, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I'm delighted to welcome the minister who has taken a very serious commitment towards promoting the contribution of MSMEs. We all know how important the MSME sector is. It, a sector that contributes almost 35% to the GDP and employs 11 crore people. Its importance cannot be underscored further. However, we are heartened by the fact that Honorable Minister Nitin Gadkari ji has given a commitment that he would like to increase the share of this sector to India's GDP to 50%, and towards that a series of steps have been taken, and I think our journey would have been accelerated a great deal had it not been for the disruption caused by COVID. I am also heartened by the fact that the minister is seized of the problems that the MSME sector has been facing, and to that extent a lot of initiatives have been taken by the union government at the behest of Honorable Minister. And the matter is, government is of course seized of the matter, but if I could just point out a few things, sir, that the emergency credit line guarantee scheme has become one of the most sought after schemes for easy access to finance in the recent times. FICCI appreciates that the government has accepted our request to increase the turnover limit to 250 crores and total outstanding limit to 50 crores. However, there are a few things that we would like to draw your attention towards, sir. One is that lots of MSMEs raise their funds through cooperative banks, but cooperative banks have been kept out of the scheme, and it would be our request to you to consider including cooperative banks in the scheme. That would make a big difference to a large number of cooperative banks large number of MSMEs that go to cooperative banks for support. The government may also want to consider extending 100% subsidy on interest amount payable on ECLGS credit line. Due to lack of demand, MSMEs are facing cash starvation, and government support in this regard would really be very helpful, and it can accelerate the recovery of the sector much faster, sir. Recently, Government of India announced that banks can carry out restructuring of the accounts of MSME borrowers, provided accounts were standardized on March 1st. This is a very welcome step, sir. However, we feel that the limit of rupees 25 crore, including non-fund based facilities, is a bit too low. And you may want to consider, sir, please, to increase this threshold. And it would be welcome if the government could also ensure that the restructuring is implemented in words and spirit, as implementation would be key to the success. Many MSMEs, sir, are ancillary units catering to the needs of large industries, both in public and private sector. But due to this disruption, enterprises are facing the problem of delayed payments affecting their cash flow and working capital availability. Most of the time, the delay in realization of such receivables increases their operating cycles and reduces their ability to procure new orders. We applaud your efforts in this direction, as massive dues of MSMEs have been already cleared by the government. We would appreciate if the government could work towards settlement of each delayed payment of MSMEs as early as possible, sir. Then there are a few other smaller sector-specific requirements, sir. So, for instance, small cinema halls are owned by MSMEs and provide employment to many local people. Amid unlocking of activities, cinema halls are still not functional, and it is creating issues of livelihood for those who are employed by these small cinema halls of 100 seats or below. Our request would be that such cinema halls should be allowed to function with at least 50% occupancy. We support the government's decision to promote Make in India and Vocal for Local initiatives. Import substitution is indeed beneficial for the economy. However, government may want to consider coming out with a special support package to develop import substitution units that could be specifically be targeting the MSME sector. The government may look at providing the industry long-term soft loan at minimal interest rate of 3 to 4%, with a minimum tenure of 9 to 10 years for repayment for the development of import substitution units in the country. I'm sure that with these efforts of the business, government, and other stakeholders, sir, we shall come out of these difficult times and we shall be able to fulfill your vision of taking the share of MSME to 50% of India's GDP. With these words, sir, I welcome the Honorable Minister and all the other participants for proceeding with the deliberations. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Uday Shankar. We are delighted to have joining us Shri Rajneesh Kumar, Chairman, State Bank of India. And also thank you, sir, for State Bank partnering FICCI in this initiative. May I invite you, Mr. Rajneesh Kumar, to please deliver your address. So you have to unmute yourself, sir. So you don't mute, sir. You have to unmute yourself.
I think there is a problem.
He's to unmute himself, sir. You're just one. Yeah. He's just getting it done. If you just click, you have to unmute, Chairman, sir. If you just go to the computer and press thing, and you'll see the mic thing, and just press the mic.
Yeah, sorry about that. Thank you, Mr. Dilip. Good afternoon to everyone. Honorable Minister for Road Transport and Highways, Shipping and MSME, Shri Nitin Gadkari ji. Honorable Minister for Medium and Large Industries, State of Karnataka, Shri Jagdish Shettar ji. Shri Uday Shankar, Senior Vice President FICCI. All the other participants for this virtual conclave. I thank FICCI for inviting me to this MSME virtual conclave. And I'm very happy that the State Bank of India is partnering with FICCI for this initiative. The State Bank of India, I am sure that all the participants are aware that as far as MSME lending is concerned, we are in the forefront. And in fact, when COVID-19 happened, the State Bank of India was the first bank that immediately on the same day, we announced COVID emergency credit line, and which became the model for all other banks to adopt. And the key element on the COVID emergency credit line was that the delegation of financial power was given to all our local functionaries so that there are no hassles. And in COVID-19 package, which Government of India has announced, MSME has, I believe, received its due share, and it would be, I'm sure, thanks to the efforts of the Honorable Minister, who is otherwise known for his dynamism in everything. And three key elements of the package are: number one, GECL, popularly known as GECL, where 20% of the outstanding loan of a unit as on 1st March, and that was given freely by the bank. And let me tell you, the success of the program, again, State Bank, I am proud to say that we took the leadership, and it was not left to the branches or the front end. Everything we did from the back end: identification of the eligible customers. We analyzed our database, and the offer letter went to all eligible units from the back end. The front end job was just to get the documentation. Then, of course, second element, again, which has been announced about, the operational details have now come about the restructuring, where realizing that if any unit has to be restructured, the promoter may not have the means to provide their part of the margin money. And for that, there is an enablement that whatever is the cost of restructuring, 15%, that can be given to the promoter, and that will be again be a guaranteed subordinated debt. And third key element is, of course, the fund of funds, and which again, because MSMEs have the issue around availability of equity. So I think all the three dimension: one is that in COVID-19, immediate help in for improving the liquidity of the MSME. Second is about the unit is in trouble, then support by way of a subordinated debt, which is guaranteed by the government. And third is fund of funds, which I presume would also get operationalized very soon. So this takes care of, like, from the availability of finance. But a few other things which have been happening in the past is that the availability of GST data, and based on that, the platform PSB 59 minutes loan, which utilizes data analytics in a big way, and based on the GST data, income tax return, the credit bureau scores, the amount which a unit can get, that is determined by the platform. So that is another initiative which was taken almost about, I think, more than 1 year ago, and it has got good traction. And two more things which are happening, and again, maybe all banks would have done it. One is that we now have a product called pre-approved business loan. So again, that is based on data analytics, which State Bank has used the data of the merchants or the current account holders of State Bank of India who do not have credit facility, but using their data, and it is based on, like, almost 600 parameters going to this analysis, where this is a pre-approved business loan, so nobody has to apply. The offer will go from the bank. And recently, we have launched gold loan for MSMEs, and within 1 month, 88 crore from State Bank point of view, not a very big thing, but it is a new product and it is getting fantastic traction. And in a way, it is a monetization of the idle gold, at least for businesses. The idle gold, and we are marketing that your safety of your jewelry, we are ensuring you don't have to even pay the locker rent. It is all now bank's responsibility, and this product has received very good traction, and we are planning to further build up this product. So in essence, the approach which the banks have is that we will be using digital in a big way to lend. And lot of data today is available. It is available to the banks, and there is something called big data. And the old way of lending, that is undergoing a massive change. And this is a dissemination of information where organizations like FICCI, they can be very useful in educating the MSME members that the way they take loans, that is undergoing a change. And if the data is available, and credit history has to be good. And once bank is known, bank knows that what is your turnover and what is the credit history, then today taking loan is much easier. And again, one more big initiative which I thought that in presence of all of you, I should mention so that this information can also go. We have 90 zones across the country. All these zones are headed by a deputy general manager, and typically they cover about 133, 130 to 150 branches. So with each DGM of the zone, we call it administrative office, I have placed one AGM SM, and his job is that within that geography, he will be the focal point for any difficulty which any MSME unit has. And let me also tell you that the champions portal of MSME, which is now with MSME Ministry, that also is receiving a lot of whoever is facing difficulty, they are lodging their complaint at MSME portal, and each and every complaint is being analyzed. We are doing root cause analysis, finding out where are the pain points. Some of the complaints, of course, are not genuine, but that is not the point. The point is that wherever there is a difficulty, we are now having all the data to analyze and ensure that those difficulties, we do the root cause analysis and take steps that those mistakes don't get repeated. And with all these initiatives around digital, around the complaint redressal mechanism, the organizational structure to handle MSME, the availability of credit, I know that still there are complaints, issues that the flow of credit is not as smooth. But from this forum, I would like particularly State Bank has taken, and that's why I thought that we should definitely partner with this initiative is dissemination of information, change in working at both ends. We are also making changes at our end. The MSMEs also need to change some working at their end, but the importance of credit, it cannot be denied. The capital, the financial capital is something without which no business can flourish. And in a State Bank of India, I think I need to compile, I have already told. We have a history where people started with a very small amount, 10,000, 20,000 rupees, 30, 40 years ago. And today they are listed company, their market capitalization runs into thousands of crores. So there are many success stories. And we do recognize in the bank that the availability of capital or finance is very, very crucial for any business enterprise. I will not take more time. These are some of the thoughts which I wanted to share on this occasion. And once again, thank you to the FICCI for organizing this event and inviting State Bank of India to be the partner. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Rajesh Kumar. You've always, as always, you've been really forthright. And I think the unique thing of this webinar is that we have government, industry, and the banking system in one platform, and we're talking about partnership and not against each other. Thank you for being there. Now, it is my pleasure to invite Mr. Shri Jagdish Shettar, Honorable Minister for Large and Medium Industry, Government of Karnataka, who has been leading these initiatives in Karnataka. May I now invite the Honorable Minister to address.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಡೆಲಿಗೇಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಸುಲಭ ಮಾಡಿ ನಾವು ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ ಓಡಬೇಕು.
Our leader, Sri
ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಬಿಡಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ಯಾಟರ್ನ್ ಅಂತಾರ ಮಾಡಿ.
Honorable Minister of Road Transport and Highways, Vice President Sri Rajnish Kumar, Chairman SBI, Sri Ullas Kamath, Chairman FICCI Karnataka State Council, Gaurav Gupta, Principal Secretary, Government of Karnataka, Dilip Chennai, Secretary General FICCI, Umar Reddy, Co-Chairman FICCI State Council, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and media friends. It gives me great pleasure to address the Atmanirbhar MSME virtual conclave organized by FICCI today. We are passing through a difficult time created by the pandemic and the subsequent lockdown. Ever since the unlocking happened, the industrial activities have been active and gradually manufacturing and economic activities are bouncing back. I would like to take this opportunity to express our heartful gratitude and compliment our leader and able leader, Honorable Minister Sri Nitin Gadkari ji, for bringing out path-breaking schemes to support the MSMEs in the country. The liberal credit schemes and change in the definition of MSMEs are the major decisions which would bring much needed momentum to the economy, particularly in the MSMEs, which have a huge share in India's industrial production and employment generation. This virtual conference is organized at an appropriate time where the deliberations would help to reinforce the confidence of the MSMEs and help to resolve some of the critical issues faced by the sector. You must be aware that on July 23rd, the state cabinet of the Karnataka government approved the new industrial policy for 2020-25. The policy comes at a sensitive time for the state, given the impact of COVID-19 and the need for a clear strategy to attract investment, create jobs, and incentivize industrial growth. Overall, the new industrial policy of state government to attract investment of worth rupees 5 lakhs crores, 5 lakhs crores, and aims to create at least 20 lakhs jobs in the next 5 years. The new industrial policy intended to promote the development of Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities in Karnataka, provide the state to rank third in merchandise exports in the next 5 years, and maintain a yearly industrial growth rate of 10%. The policy will be pro-industry and aligned with the recent reforms, such as amendments to the Land Reforms Act. This is very important. The Labour Act and another important landmark amendment, the Karnataka Industries Facilitation Amendment Act. It has created history because anybody, if wants to purchase the land for the starting industry, even agriculture land also, immediately after getting permission, acknowledgement in the state level meeting, immediately he can start construction work and everything within a short period on the next day only. And within 3 years, he has to take the all clearance from the other departments. This is a landmark amendment we made earlier. And sir, the new industrial policy 2025 outlines investment promotion subsidies for enterprises according to their scale of production, turnover, and whether they are operated by persons belonging to special categories. This is also another important make out that on turnover, subsidy will be given to the industrialist. Sir, MSMEs form an important and growing segment of Karnataka's industrial sector and occupy a place of prominence in the economy of Karnataka. Assessing the greater potential of MSMEs, we have made sure that it is easier to initiate and assess the required resources and most importantly, achieve when MSME aims to do. With our user-friendly process, progressive policies, and practices, we assure that Karnataka will be a conducive place for industry to grow. Karnataka's industrial growth is guided by transparent sectoral policies that provide extensive support for new industries and entrepreneurs. Here are some attractive incentives that make it easy for investors to move ahead with their projects. The state has excellent connectivity through airports, broad gauge railway, national highways, and seaports, home to several industry specifics, SEZs, and innovative parks. Karnataka also provides the right kind of infrastructure support across industries. A robust supply chain network ensures resources are never a problem. The cluster-based development approach unveiled by the state would give much needed economies of scale for companies who would like to invest in a selected sector. The FMCG cluster, the defense cluster, etc., are going to have a great impact in the industrial development of the state. We are hopeful that the state policies, along with a series of historic measures brought out by the government of India, would help the industry and particularly the MSME sector with several important support schemes. The Atmanirbhar schemes have brought back the much needed momentum to the manufacturing process, and we are certain that in the coming period, as we come out of the current crisis, the economy would be able to bounce back with robust growth and momentum. I am sure with the constant evaluation and monitoring of the progress of the schemes, the sector will be able to tide over difficulties faced by the lockdown and the pandemic, and the post-COVID scenario will be a vibrant phase for the MSMEs and the economy as a whole. Once again, I would like to extend our sincere thanks to Honorable Minister Nitin Gadkari because he's a role model for all us, for in a political life and even public life, how to run the government, how to administer the department. I learned more from the Nitin Gadkari. He's an able leader, and his advices in important factors, particularly infrastructure. Nitin Gadkari advised me whenever he visits to Karnataka that for the development of the industry, the important fort has to be developed. Like that, he advised us that you must develop a Belikeri fort in Karwar district. I have taken it very seriously, and we are preparing the DPR, everything as per his direction, guidelines. We are going ahead with the Belikeri fort. Within a short period, we will approach the union government for a clearance of the Belikeri fort. That is important for the North Karnataka also. So, I am sure that constant evaluation and monitoring. Once again, I would like to extend our sincere thanks to Honorable Minister. With this, may I once again take this opportunity to extend a hearty thanks to all the distinguished invitees, participants who are present today. Thank you all. Jai Hind, Jai Karnataka. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Honorable Minister Shettar, sir. Thank you for your address. And it is my proud privilege to invite Shri Nitin Gadkari, Honorable Minister of Road Transport and Highways of India, and Ministry of Micro and Small and Medium Enterprises, Government of India, to deliver his inaugural address. Honorable Minister Shri Nitin Gadkari ji.
Dear Jagdish ji, respectable Rajneesh Kumar ji, Chairman of FICCI Karnataka, all council members, and dear friends. It is a pleasure for me to interact with you related with MSME. Karnataka is one of the progressive state having a very good contribution in the growth of our country, particularly in the field of handloom, handicrafts, silk. Karnataka has got good track record and it is one of the good role model for the country. Presently, we are all facing the problem of COVID-19. But not only we are facing this problem, the whole world is facing this problem. First of all, I will request you that this is the time for all the stakeholders to create positivity and self-confidence in the mind of the people, in the different stakeholders. There is a lot of fears, loss of confidence also is there, and frustration and negativity is there. This is the time for all of us to create positivity and self-confidence in the mind of the people. We will get vaccine as early as possible. We will win this war against COVID-19. At the same time, I am confident that we are going to win the economic war also. Presently, government has taken a lot of positive decisions and supporting to MSMEs. Already, our schemes giving good relief to the majority of MSMEs. And now we have also extended. Actually, the definition of MSME was a big problem. From last 14 years, there was a constant demand for that. That total definition is now changed. In the previous criteria, there was two independent categories. One was manufacturing enterprises and other was service enterprises. Now the classification is only one, that is manufacturing and services. Regarding the definition of micro industries, the investment means the investment in plant and machinery or equipments. That investment for micro industries was 25 lakh rupees. Now we have extended up to 1 crore. And the turnover was 10 lakh. Now it comes to 5 crore. Regarding the small scale industry, the investment was 5 crore. Now we have already taken it up to 10 crore. And the turnover was 2 crore. Now we have taken it as 50 crore, 25 times more. Regarding the classification of medium industry, the investment was 10 crore. Now we have extended it up to 50 crores. And turnover was 5 crore. Now we have taken it as a 250 crores. And the export turnover is excluded. So this can be a great benefit for all the MSMEs, and they will get all the facility of MSMEs now. And this can be a golden opportunity for all MSMEs. Regarding most important thing is that already this collateral free loan, now up till now it is 1,20,000 crore disbursement is there. But now also the limit is extended. And also I received the letter from the cooperative minister, because already that reference related with the cooperative banks. Due to in the Nirmalaji's her letter, she has explained this issue, that due to dual regulation and supervision, cooperative banks are currently not included as a member lending institutions under ECLGS. However, data regarding their financial position is being collected from scheduled state cooperative banks and urban cooperative banks for considering their inclusion as a member lending institution under the scheme in consultation with RBI, depending upon the availability of headroom under the scheme. Regarding the headroom, I don't feel there is a problem, because it is of 3 lakh crore and out of which up till now only there is a disbursement of 1,20,000 crore. So I don't feel any problem in availability of headroom under the scheme. So this is under consideration, and I am expecting that Finance Minister will take the appropriate decision as early as possible. Regarding restructuring of the industry also, we have before March end, the bank has already restructured 6 lakh MSMEs. And now after further that, we have extended this limit up to 31st December and now up to this year. And already we have already making provision in the Prime Minister package of 20,000 crore as giving special help for giving opportunity to MSMEs for their restructuring. Presently, those MSMEs who are not covered under the scheme, those who are under NPA, where government will contribute equity in that MSME, and then bank will be in position to restructure them. So it is already there. The funds of fund is very important. The funds of fund is a scheme where 50,000 crore as a equity will get the benefit to MSMEs, where we have already made the provision of 20,000 crore. At 13 August, I have a meeting with the stock exchange office bearers. The scheme is up to 15 crore we will contribute to MSME as a equity. There is a autonomous committee where they can take the decision. Those MSMEs who have good track record of bank turnover, GST and income tax, and those who are having a good track record of export, we will cover all this MSME under this scheme. We will add our equity from the government side to them, and after that they will approach to capital market, either it is a National Stock Exchange, Bombay Stock Exchange, different stock exchanges, and they will raise the capital. Just in this period, I have got opportunity to interact with the investor from Dubai, investor from USA, investor from Europe, investor from Australia, and the response was very good. India is the best secure destiny for investment. And presently I feel that the present economic crisis problem in Indian economy is of liquidity. We need more liquidity. That is the reason that we will get liquidity in MSME from foreign investment funds. Even we can get liquidity into our non-banking financial institutions, NBFCs. Then we are also trying to get more investment, in particular in infrastructures. So by increasing liquidity, we will be in position to accelerate the wheel of our economy, and that is very important. Regarding delayed payment also, we have taken a lot of preventive measures. We want to make some law for that, but the present situation is not good. We have got the Samadhan portal where we are receiving the complaints from the MSMEs, and already central government has taken a decision that where there is a delayed payment or to MSME from government ministries or public government undertaking, within 45 days, the government has already given order them to clear all the payments. I also request all the Chief Minister and also the Minister of Industry, Minister of Karnataka, that we are expecting from you also to issue the order to all public undertakings and also the government ministries to pay the dues of MSMEs within 45 days. And this is very important. We want to also introduce a model. Here Mr. Rajnish Kumarji is here. He is very positive, and his great contribution in the field of banking, country will always remember. I know that the way in which he has taken the decision, and really he make a success story of State Bank, it is because of his great contribution as a leader of bank. I am really appreciate him. So now we have suggested one scheme. Already National Stock Exchange, Mr. Limay has launched one scheme. They raise a fund, 7,000 crore from the market. with a low interest cost, and on the basis of the companies where there was a due payment of MSMEs, on the basis of that company they raise the fund, then they issue this fund to MSME with the guarantee taken from the companies, and the companies are paying rate of interest, and MSME has to pay some very negligible amount. By this procedure, to get money on the credit of the companies, those who are major industries having good credit. So by the way of this, they can get the payment to MSME, that is to be a new product which is already identified. But we are trying our level best. This is one of the serious issue about delayed payments. I am requesting all the major industries already, and they promise me that they will issue MSME payment with the priority. Regarding this situation, our first important criteria, first priority is to how we can encourage more investment in MSME. First of all, the foreign investment, all the state governments are trying for that. They are changing their different laws where some problems and some bottlenecks are there. Now, idea is, I already suggest my department to work on that. Even the state government can also think about it on this line, that there will be a land bank, availability of land, and any investor, any entrepreneur, if he can apply on that portal with the eligible certificates, immediately government can allow that land. So we can stop the delays. Delays are very problematic. They are creating a lot of problems, and the corruption is there. So exactly we need transparency, time-bound decision-making process, positivity, and corruption-free system. For that reason, this is the time for the state government and central government. Even in my own department, we are working on 3 models. One is digitalization. Digitalization is very important. I will request Jagdish ji that you also do the one thing to make all the system of your department that should be digitalized. No one need to come to office. On the basis of that, if we can make our administration, it can be really a great achievement. The second important thing is about marketing, that is e-commerce. I am trying my level best to start the portal name as Bharat Marketing, but still we are in the process. But at 10 days before, I have a video conference with Amazon, and their export from India, from MSME, Indian MSME is 60,000 crore. I request them to make it 5 lakh crore within 2 years. That can be possible, because the world economic situation is very favorable to Indian situation. India has got the tremendous strength. The most important strength is the population. Second important strength is the availability of the trained, young, talented engineering power. Skilled manpower is available. And the third is, now we have good infrastructure, water, power, transport and communication. We are making good highways. We have also the efficiency of our port is increased by 2 times. Their capacity is also increased. So we can reduce the logistic cost, labor cost and power cost, by which we can be more competitive in the international market. For that reason, we need to have upgradation of the technology. If the technology is available in India, we can take it. If it is not available, we can make joint venture with the foreign partners and we can upgrade the technology. The other important thing is that we can get foreign investment also. So these are the opportunity and blessing in disguise for the industry. I request all of you to take the advantage of this situation. As far as the Atmanirbhar Bharat, where we need to think on the line that how we can reduce our imports and how we can increase our export. I am just making the study of it, that what are the last 3 years, what are the exports in India and what are the imports in India. And also I am studying the economy of China, Vietnam and Bangladesh. Now I have got the all track record is with me and it is very interesting. Regarding this Chinese export, we have 30% of the world entire manufacture is done in China. And these 10 export major categories of China, that contributes of 70% of total exports. So these are the fields are electrical machinery and equipments, machinery including computers, where electrical machinery equipments, the imports, Chinese exports are $671 billion. That contribution is 727%. The machinery including computers, Karnataka is known for software and hardware. And Jagdishji, I will request you to more concentrate and giving highest priority for this field. The machinery including computer, that is $417 billion, that is 16.70%. Furniture, beading, lighting and prefab building, that is $99.50 billion, where it is to be 4%. Plasters, plastic and articles, $84.40 billion, that is 3.40%. Vehicles, it is $74.40 billion, it comes to 3%. And optical, technical, medical apparatus, it is 73%, it is 2.90%. And kit or orchid clothing accessories, that is $7.40 billion, it comes to 2.90%. Articles of iron and steel, foundries, different type of industry, already Karnataka have a lot of industry. Their export, Chinese export is $70 billion. Now it is 2.70%. And toys and games, it is $62.80 billion. It is 2.50%. Now this is the time for Indian economy that we should identify which are the fields where we can make import substitute. How we can develop the MSME and the industry by which we can take the advantage of the economic situation in the world. And this is the time for the progressive state like Karnataka that we need to give the direction to our MSME, that is to be import substitute, cost effective, pollution free and indigenous. So Jagdishji, my request is on this line. We are already going to publish a book where there will be report of the 3 years of export and 3 years of import. And exactly, I feel that if we want to make Indian economy world super economy in the world, for that reason we need to increase our export. We have to think on the direction of that how we can increase the exports in agriculture, agro-processing industries, at the same time handloom, handicrafts, khadi gramodyog. And I will request you, presently the turnover of the MSME contributes 30% of the GDP growth in the country. And the total export of Indian economy, the MSME contribution is 48%. And up till now, the job created by MSME is 11 crores. So my request is we want to make it 50%. And that is the reason for that now we have changed the definition. And at the same time, we need to plan about import substitute economy. And on that basis, I will request you, the Karnataka is one of the progressive state. My most important request for you, why we are facing the problem as far as per capita income and GDP growth is concerned, our records are not good. It is only because of agriculture, tribal and rural area, and where 115 aspirant districts, where our GDP growth and per capita income is very negligible. And that is the reason that we need to more concentrate on this subject. So I will request you that regarding this rural, agriculture and tribal related with 115 aspirant district, where we need to develop employment potential. The mission of every government is eradication of poverty. But if we want to eradicate the poverty, we need capital investment in the village industry. We need employment potential in that area, and by which we can increase the per capita income and GDP, by which we can eradicate the poverty. So my humble request to you to plan a special policy for rural, agriculture, tribal and 115 aspirant districts. I don't know the number of districts in Karnataka. My request is to find out some policy for that. And this is the time that we should think in the line of how we can create more employment potential. So really, the village industry's turnover up to last March, coming to 88,000 crore. And my ambition, my target is to make it for at least 5 lakh crores in 2 years. We need to develop village industry, agro-processing industries, milk, dairy, then honey, bamboo, fishing, Now the size of the fishing economy is 1 lakh crore. Karnataka has got availability of seafront, rivers. Now we have taken a decision and we have manufactured the trawler. They can go up to 100 nautical mile. The present boat with the fishermen, they are going only up to 6 to 7 nautical mile. So now by giving this trawler, by making, we have farmer produce companies like fish produce companies, and we can give them that trawler. The cost of the trawler is 1 crore 25 lakhs. Suppose 5 fishermen come together with the equity of 5 lakhs rupees from each, making 25 lakh as the equity from the fisherman. 1 crore finance available from the ministry, central government, even central Karnataka can make it some scheme for that, and by which we can increase our fish production, seafood production 6 times more, and we can make this economy of 6 lakh crore. The dollar income will get to fisherman. It is going to change socio-economic transformation in that area. So my request is now the village industry, agro-processing industry, the honey, bamboo, silk, handloom, handicrafts, then different type of products already Karnataka is doing. I feel that this you should give the priority for that. And I request to FICCI that most important, Honorable State Bank Chairman is here. I always appreciate him. But the problem is that the small people, they are not getting finance. So at 15 days before, I have interaction with Muhammad Yunus, Nobel Award winner. And when 1.5 hour there was a discussion with the IIT people and Mr. Gopal Krishnan Pontata. So now he suggests me, and already he sent me note. That is the idea of social microfinance institution. The idea is, now we are working on it, that already I requested Mr. Raju Kumar, Vice President of Planning Commission, Niti Aayog, and IIT people to formulate the policy with the cooperation of my ministry. And there will be a simple methodology. We can make this social microfinance institution. They will only finance up to 10 lakh rupees. This is my idea. This is not the final idea. Their interest deposit rate will be 2 to 3%, 2% more than banks. And their borrowing rate will be more than 3% more than the banks interest rate. And they will only finance up to 10 lakh rupees to the small women help group, the small people, the pani puri wala, the small tea stall, and the small people, they can finance. That by this way we can create jobs for 2 crore people. And this is very important. Already this is success story in Bangladesh. On that line, tomorrow I am going to Delhi and we are discussing this and we are going to formulate the policy. It should be free from red tapeism. It should be totally transparent, time bound, result oriented. And anyone who can apply it, he will get the finance within 3 days. So this is the idea. So I feel that government is with the MSME. We are supporting all of you. I am confident that we are going to win war against COVID-19. At the same time, we will win this war against economic war also. We are going to win. And today the role of Karnataka is very important. FICCI's role is very important for this new initiative for village industry, agriculture, tribal, rural, Gaon, Garib, Mazdoor and Kisan. And Jal, Jamin, Jangal, Janwar. On the basis of that, we need to frame the policy to create more employment potential in agriculture, rural and tribal area. I am confident that Karnataka is a very progressive state under the leadership of Yadurappa ji and Jagdish ji. You have all experience. You are previously worked as a chief minister. You working from last many days with me. So you formulate the policy and try to create more employment potential in Karnataka, create more GDP growth and contribute in the growth of India, and create more employment potential for eradication of the poverty. That is the mission of all of us. At the same time, the dream of our Prime Minister to make India as a Atmanirbhar Bharat. For that reason, we have to make the economy, the target of Prime Minister to make this economy of $5 trillion and 100 lakh crore of infrastructure. It is a difficult job, but it is not an impossible job. By the cooperation, coordination and communication between all stakeholders, we can achieve that goal. And once again, I am giving my thanks to you. And now it's a meeting with the chairman of the State Bank. I really appreciate him because I don't know, probably he is going to retire in October or somewhere. That I don't know exactly what is the date. But Mr. Rajnish Kumarji, I really appreciate you for your great leadership in the banking field, and the way in which you support infrastructure, MSMEs, it will be a history in India that we will always remember your positivity and your transparent role in the development of India as a chairman of State Bank. I am giving my special thanks to you. At the same time, I am giving my thanks to Karnataka, our colleague Minister Jagdish Shettyarji, and also the Council of FICCI and the chairman. Once again, be safe. I am giving my all best wishes to you. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
Namaskar, Honorable Minister. Thank you so much for your address. You had agreed to take a lot of questions, but since time is running out, I'll just put two questions to you, which have been received by the participants, and the rest we will send to your office. The first one is one that you're very familiar with. They're saying that industry, especially MSMEs, face massive problems in terms of supply chain disruption and of receivables. There is a problem on the GST front as tax is paid on invoice value, whether there is a cancellation of order or bad debt. Will the government step in and address this issue? So the request is that if for the MSMEs, can there be a process for availing of GST reversal if the order is cancelled or there's a bad debt?
Correct. When the order is cancelled, it is important for the entrepreneur that he don't have to pay the GST. But there are some problem in rules and regulation. My suggestion is send it to me, your representation. I will represent it to the finance minister and I will talk with them. At the same time, regarding the payments, getting the delay payment from MSMEs from the major industry and governments and public undertaking also, this is a serious and sensitive issue. Today we are working on it, and also the position is exactly this is not an appropriate position to make any stringent law for that. But this is a very, very serious and important subject. I have very much priority for that. In due course of time, we will resolve this issue and we will find out the way out.
Thank you, Mr. That was actually one of the other questions, but you've answered. But the next question, I think this is very important because we have the state government here also. To say that there's a massive stimulus for demand revival may be needed, either through advancing infrastructure spending or public works. What plans, if any, does government have in this direction? Will the government seriously consider extending direct cash injection by the way of payroll support, or supporting the state governments in addressing utility and lease rent payments for SMEs? So the demand stimulation is the question.
Frankly speaking, the most important problem in Indian economy is the liquidity. The present size of our total GDP is 200 lakh crore, out of which 20 lakh crore package is already given. This is from the economists which they are telling me. Out of which they are expecting budget deficit in state government and central government of 10 lakh crore. So presently we need more capital, and where we need more capital from the foreign capital funds, insurance fund, pension funds, foreign banks, World Bank, ADB, BRICS Bank. And as far as infrastructure, in road infrastructure, I don't have any problem. The State Bank chairman is here. We are now monetizing our project. Our projects are economically viable. Our total income is 28,000 crore. And within a 5 year, my plan is to take it 1 lakh crore. So we can raise the fund. Now we are talking with lot of insurance, pension funds, foreign bankers. And now this is the time that India need PPP, BOT, public-private investment. And this is the time in railway, power, shipping, ports, inland waterways. I am only giving an example. In last my regime, I was responsible for Ministry of Shipping, Ports and Inland Waterways. My budget was 800 crore per year. So 5 years it comes to 4,000 crore. But we have taken a big program named as Sagarmala of 16 lakh crore. And in my 5 years, we have already completed works more than 6 lakh 50,000 crore with public-private investment. In the road sector, we are making a lot of public-private investment, and this is very important for the country that we need to increase liquidity. And without liquidity, we cannot accelerate the wheel of our economy. We cannot create more employment potential. So this is the time, they are absolutely correct. Government is trying to create more liquidity in the market. Government is supporting a lot of things, and we are on the line. Bank are supporting. But one thing is absolutely correct, that now today in the situation, everyone is in problem. The bank system is also under stress. The MSME, the industry is facing the problem. The migrant problem, labor problem is very serious. The NBFCs are also facing the problem. Some of the state government, they don't have money to pay the monthly salary for next month. Even the central government, our GST already income is reduced. In a situation, we are all in problem, but we need to find out the way out. And with, I always remember that Hindi song of Atal Bihari Vajpayee, that कदम से कदम मिलाकर चलना होगा. अब the second poem is was very good. कोशिश करने वालों की कभी हार नहीं होती और हम होंगे कामयाब. So we 100% I am confident with positivity and self-confidence we will fight the war against COVID-19 and we will win over this war. At the same time we will win the economic war and we will march ahead. So we are already looking for that. The finance minister and the prime minister is working on that line, and 100% we will create more liquidity in the market, by which that will be a great help to create more demand in the market, and that will support MSME. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. May I now invite Shri Ullas Kamath, Chairman, Karnataka State Council and Joint MD of Jyoti Labs, to conclude this session, please. Mr. Ullas Kamath.
Respected Sri Nitin Gadkari ji, Honorable Minister of Road Transport and Highways of India, Shipping, Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, Government of India, Sri Jagdish Shettar ji, Minister of Large and Medium Industry, Government of Karnataka, Sri Rajneesh Kumar ji, Chairman SBI, Sri Uday Shankar ji, our Senior Vice President FICCI, Sri Dilip Shenoy, our Secretary General. I would like to express FICCI's deep gratitude to Honorable Minister Sri Nitin Gadkari ji for inaugurating today's Atmanirbhar MSME Conclave. As we all know, this is the most critical times, and our collective efforts are the only way through which we can bring back the momentum of growth in the economy. We in FICCI State Council have been working very closely with the Government of Karnataka ever since the pandemic hit us, extending our sincere vote of thanks to the Honorable Minister. Sri Jagdish Shettar ji, Honorable Minister of Large and Medium Enterprises, for giving us such a warm and encouraging response when we approached them for organizing this MSME program. I take this opportunity to congratulate Government of Karnataka, Honorable Chief Minister, Industry Minister, Sri Jagdish Shettar, and Sri Gaurav Gupta, Principal Secretary, and his team for supporting every need of the industry in Karnataka. The dynamism and the timely announcement of several path-breaking policies at this time set the future vision of industrial development of the state. The state will remain as strong as ever in investment as an investment destination under their able leadership. SBI has always been very supportive to the industry, and ever since the